Hello and welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes and with two of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Let's start with, well, because he requires it, it's deep in him. Let's start with Jay Anthony Brown. Hey, Jay.
Hey, Sybil, what's going on? You like my hat?
I was saying before we started that, oh, wow, it's got all your sayings on there. Watch out
Only
there
one.
now.
It says watch out there now, all
I,
over the.
oh, okay. In different
Jay, you
fonts
got
and stuff.
merchandise.
I got merch. I got merch.
You got merch. And secondly, Yolanda Starks White is joining us, and we'll tell the story about Jay and Yolanda. They go back a long
How we
way.
had to be separated when we were at the time.
Well, how y'all started, and and
Yeah, how
and
we
then
started
and
and
what
how
that
we
led
ended
to,
up being separated.
and
And
then
Jay happens to be one of my favorite people in the whole wide world
Don't
too.
sit next to Jay. Yogi, could you move over?
you need you, Yogi. I'm
Like
gonna need you
out
to
the
come
room.
over. I'm gonna need you to move over to the next block.
Right.
Everybody I befriended on that show, I wasn't allowed to sit next to. It was just
Yeah.
Not even Ross. You couldn't be
not
next to
even
Ross.
Ross,
Oh
not
God.
Miss
Because
Dupree, nobody.
the worst thing about Ross and Jay, Ross was our technical engineer, was that he and Jay would be able to talk, but Tom wouldn't be able to
Couldn't
hear
hear us.
them.
Yeah. It's to make him so mad.
And you
And
could
so
hear
you would do it on
Jay,
purpose.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
As you
and
should.
you could hear Jay laughing and talking, and only from one side, and that just, oof.
Oh, that burned his hide. That really did.
Funny.
So I'm glad you guys are here. We're recording this in advance of our retreat that we're doing this weekend. So Jay, thank you
Oh,
so
it's
much
this
for.
weekend.
Mhm,
Oh,
mhm, mhm.
okay.
Yep. So we're
Well,
glad
I
that
need
you're.
to know where you're gonna be. I'd like to send something to all the ladies.
You could come.
Inducible.
Oh, okay. Don't want to get you in any trouble.
No, no.
Definitely not. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys are here. I'm glad that we're able to talk a little bit, uh, and we still want to talk about what's in our What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our Monday through Friday effort to super serve the African American community with stories and other items in the newsletter that really do appeal or that we think we should have in our conversation and talk about. We have talk about politics, of course. We talk about social justice, LGBTQ plus issues, as well as mental health and wellness. And this is an effort to kind of get people, especially Black folks. As a rule, Jay, we don't talk about our mental health enough or do enough about it. Aprilette Russell is our mental health and wellness contributor, and she talks about breaking barriers that the state of Iowa is examining changes in the licensing process to support healthcare workers' mental health. That's a lot to say, but to reduce the stigma and encourage medical professionals to seek treatment for mental health and substance abuse disorders, the
Oh wow.
Iowa Board of Medicine is taking a look at the licensing applications for physicians, a step that places Iowa nearly in a dozen states reconsidering the licensing process. So, Jay, we have a hard enough time
Hmm.
talking about our mental health and just as folks not in the medical profession, right? Can you imagine how difficult it is for physicians,
But
even though they may have studied it, to talk about, the need for getting some mental health
I
and help?
I saw an article a couple of days ago with Jim. Is it Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey.
Hmm.
He had an article and he was talking about the difference between depression and sadness and how different those two things were and how people can mistake one for the other or vice versa. And and like you said, in terms of being in quote unquote entertainment, it's something basically really that people don't want to talk about
Right.
because they are quote unquote famous or in entertainment, but it happens to anybody. It could happen to anybody, and it is real. It's
Yeah.
real.
So Jay, I so what in my opinion, I think people are starting to talk about it more, but here's the deal. I think that article that you just referred to, I think that is so important because people love to say these days, I'm depressed, or
Hmm.
I have anxiety, or you might just be sad.
It
And
could
it's
be just
okay to be
sadness. Yeah,
sad.
yeah,
And there are some things that you should be sad about. And
yeah,
it's okay. That don't mean you're depressed.
yeah.
And so now I think that it is more now that we are misdiagnosing ourselves.
Yeah, that's easy to do because you will do that instead of going to see someone who really knows what it is.
And
Right.
how
I
to
don't know
make that
what it
breakdown.
is. I don't know what it is, sadness or depression, but the holidays is, oh my God, it is the worst, especially since my mom passed away. My next birthday, I'll be 72. I hate from Thanksgiving on until New Year's. It's the worst time for me. It is. I mean,
in
I
in
look
my
forward to.
in my opinion, with my little internet degree,
Mhm.
I have diagnosed you as depressed because you're not just sad.
No,
You're not just sad. You are depressed
no.
during that period of time, and it happens around the same time, and you
Every year.
isolate every year, and you isolate, which is the worst. No, which is probably the worst thing for you to do is to isolate as opposed to working through those feelings. But I say working through those feelings. That's easy for me to say,
Yeah.
but for the person that's actually experiencing that, to just get over it. And again, it's not something that you get over. The loss that you feel, it is not something that you will get over. But what happens is I think that we have to learn how to live with the
With
different
the
changes in our
depression,
lives.
right? Because for the holidays, for me, it was a big time. I was gonna go home. I'm
Hmm.
gonna see mom. I'm gonna see my nieces and my nephews. I'm gonna see my sister. I'm gonna see cousins, and that was a big time. I bought all these gifts, and I had something for everybody. And when my mom left, it was just like, uh, I can't explain what it is. And there are a lot of people who say around the holidays or the actual time when a loved one that they were very close to leaves, it's a time that it hits you and it's a depressing time. But like you said, people have started to say, well, there's something wrong. I'm going to seek professional help now more so than back in the day. I have a friend that picks up bodies for a living. You know who he is. He's a comedian. But he says around this time of the year, from October, especially around Thanksgiving until the first of the year, more people commit suicide, or more
I,
people.
I thought you meant picked up bodies.
No, he picks
Oh,
up bodies. Yeah.
he
When
really
somebody
No, no,
dies,
no, no, no. I thought you meant picked up bodies.
picked up bodies. He picks up bodies.
Right, right, but right,
But
okay,
what he's saying around this time, people get depressed and go off and kill
right,
everybody, or they harm themselves. So
right.
it's a real serious problem that we have in this country.
Have you considered getting some help? Because I think that the help that something that might be able to help you is to help you reframe the way you see. I mean, to the way you see that period of time. So, for example,
I've never thought about getting help. I'm just looking for January the 1st. When
Mm.
January, I know when January the 1st comes, I'm gonna be okay.
so
I
consider
never
this,
I never
Jay.
thought about
Consider this.
suicide or anything like that. It's
But
just
consider this. You gave your age. So at your age,
mhm.
you're giving away. It's 12 months in a year. So no, think about it.
No.
At your age, you go give away 3 or 4 months.
Well, I don't look at it as giving away. I look at it as leave me the hell alone
Okay.
and
Okay.
don't bother me. I'll come around, but right now I don't want to be bothered.
But
Yes,
is
And,
is
and
that
what
is
and
that
what do you
selfish? Is that selfish?
I don't think it is because if
Okay.
I go around, I'm not going to be a lot of fun. So
and
it's
But
sometimes self-preservation, sometimes selfish is being good because sometimes you have to self-preserve
you have.
in
If
order
I
to
know if I'm
survive.
around, I'm like I don't want to be here. I don't want to do that. So let me just stay by myself.
And what do you do during that time? What that look like?
Movies,
Oh,
Well,
okay.
TV,
you go to the
music.
movies every day anyway. You don't
So
do
you're not.
anything.
So you're not in the bed.
I can go to the movies every day. I loved it when right at the end of COVID, there was nobody in the movies. That was the best time. The movies were empty. So yes,
So
that's
you're
what
not
I do.
lying in the bed sleeping all day.
No, I'm up. I'm just
Oh.
alone. I want to be alone. Right.
And he's old man up. Like
Shut up, Sybil.
I'm old.
he's old man
We're
up.
not in the
Like
same. What people don't know is we're not in the same state. So I'm thinking when I get up,
everybody.
should be up.
And what time is that?
dark
Yogi,
30.
when I don't go to bed, I'm calling people too. So if I'm thinking if it's 3:00 in the morning, if I call you, you should be up. I don't want.
The whole world revolves around
Yeah.
J. Anthony. But I heard that about you. So that is selfish. Maybe he is selfish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's not. He's very giving. And but what I don't understand necessarily is your mom wouldn't want you to act that way.
No, I don't
She
think she
wouldn't
would.
want you to.
She'd be my mom. I tell a story about it. I had two moms. I had the
Yeah.
mom.
Who tipped a little.
and
Yeah.
the
And then there was a praying
mom.
mom. Yeah. Yeah, it was a
And
different.
it was
It was a
weird.
different.
Both of those moms treated me differently. The mom was I considered her as being mean, but she didn't know any better. And when she got like that, it was a
She got
different
saved.
mom, and that was a mom that I made peace with because I was angry at my mom for the way she treated me when I was coming up, and I finally made peace with her and said those words to her, and she, of course, she didn't remember, whatever, but it was good to make that peace with her, and before she left, yeah.
When you say she used to imbibe a little, take a drink, tell the story about how she would wake you up in the middle of the night to entertain.
Well, her favorite
people.
thing was I had this ability. I don't know if there's anybody around who knows who Lyndon Baines Johnson is. He was
A former
what number
president.
was he President Sybil?
He was right after John Kennedy. So what was that?
So right after John
36,
Kennedy.
37?
And she would wake me up in the middle of the night, and I had to do Lyndon Baines Johnson before I could go back to bed. And all I could say to my mom, which would make her the happiest in the world, was, "I come to you tonight with a heavy heart." And she would like, you can go back to
That
bed.
is really sweet. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but it was in front of people, everybody's,
Oh,
and
I love that.
Ricky! See, what people don't know is my mom has always called me Ricky, so it's Ricky! Oh, he up there, I know. Ricky! Come down here and do Lyndon Baines Johnson. I said, bring your ass down here and do Lyndon Baines Johnson.
And Jay, were you in
My dog,
the washed out?
Hold on, time out. Sidebar. See, what people don't know and what Tom didn't know is Sybil was the instigator with me and Jay back then too. See why we have to be separated?
You see why we were always separated?
You hear that laugh? You hear that laugh? Right
Oh
now?
my God.
That's the laugh. Yeah. And Jay in his little laundry stained fireman pajamas,
stained underwear, right.
with the trucks on them and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
The semi pee the beds, yes.
That is so cute.
Yes.
I love that story.
Much.
I
Yes.
absolutely love that story. And
Yes.
Jay has great stories like that. I think that's a one-man show right there. So
Well, it might be one day. We don't know. We're working on it. Yeah.
But my point is that, and I understand that period of time because my mom got sick before Thanksgiving, and we went through Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then New Year's. And the week after New Year's, she died. So I get that period of
That whole
time.
period of time. But
Yeah,
you had that
those
happy time
holidays.
of those years.
Right,
So
right,
you're not connecting New Year's, Christmas, and you're not connecting the loss of her. You're
right,
connecting the loss of her after those times. Because in most people's mind, Thanksgiving, New Year's, and Christmas are happy times.
right,
You know,
right.
and
And we had
I'm
great
so glad when it's
holidays.
over. I'm
Yeah.
really when it's over with it. It's the best.
It's almost like you're a butterfly coming out
Yeah.
of the cocoon. You
That's weird because my
reemerge.
mom's favorite insect was the butterfly, and she just had such a connection with butterflies. So it feels like after the first of the year, like New Year's, the first January the 1st, it's like a big weight off of my shoulders. Like, okay, now you can breathe, now you can live.
Yeah. How do you explain that to people in your life?
That's
They
what
don't.
I was just thinking that what does your woman do during that period of time?
Or your wives?
I've explained to everybody that this is what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've explained.
Do
That
they
is
believe
very
you when you tell them?
mature.
Yeah, I might
That's
not see
very
you.
mature.
I might not see you. I'm definitely not going to see you Thanksgiving. I'm not going to see you Thanksgiving. If you want to go somewhere, if you want to do something, if it's in reason, I can see if I can try to help you go there. I can do Christmas and I can do New Year's, but I can't. Thanksgiving was really big for me going home. It was just.
So Jay, would you consider looking at it a different way? Would you consider during that period of time to really celebrate your mother and what that period of time was and what it represented? And instead of being
look
sad,
at the look on his face.
that's okay. I can take a look.
Okay.
But instead of being sad, just consider that I'm going to really celebrate my mom because she loved this and we love her. And remember when we had this. And so we celebrate the good times. I mean,
Here's what I'll do. I'll try it, but it won't be this Thanksgiving.
you are silly.
I can tell you. I'll try it, but
I didn't say no to it. I said,
okay. Well, you know what? Even if it's not with people, I'm talking about you within yourself to celebrate how great that period of time with your mother, just with yourself. Forget everybody else because this is really about you.
I'll do it.
And maybe treat yourself to a nice meal. Maybe get as far south.
It won't be this Thanksgiving.
I was going to suggest that you go head south and get some liver pudding. And
I'm not sure how much time you got to be.
Wow, Yolanda.
I'm just saying.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm sure people who go through it at times too, really, really depressed. I heard that Mike Wallace suffered from depression. People who go through it, at some point you reach a point where you can laugh at it and you can, you can somewhat throw it up over your shoulder and deal with the next day or the next period in your life. But when you're going through it, it's the worst. Right. It's the worst. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there.
Oh yeah.
That can relate to that.
But you going through it and recognizing the period of time, that makes a big difference. It's like, sometimes I would be sad and my mom, something would happen. My mom would say, okay, how much time do you need? And people are like, what does that mean? And sure enough, I was like,
after a while, you're like, boom. I think the biggest miss from my mom is the biggest thing is when things that would happen to me that were great, in my career or personal that, I got to call. I can't call mom.
Right.
My mom lived at a certain place in Columbia, South Carolina. To this day, I cannot go down that street. I just can't go. I'll go all the way around because she was my biggest fan. She just was my biggest fan. She was just, she was my biggest fan.
That's true. That is absolutely true. Well, we have spent the entire What You Need to Know newsletter time talking about this, but
Crazy Jay.
With Crazy Jay. But I do appreciate your being so forthcoming and talking about the situation, and I really hope for the best for you in
Yeah.
this holiday season. And if you come through this way, I'll go to the movies with you.
Yeah. And that's something you normally don't do, but that would be
I
great.
don't do that
Yeah.
anymore. Right. Right. Oh, but you know what is coming out is The
Yeah.
Color Purple is coming out Christmas Day with your
Oh,
girl.
it is.
Yeah.
And I understand this. They're having sex scenes in this movie.
Yeah,
So
this is
with
quite progressive.
Fantasia and who plays
Is it
Sugar?
Mr.? I can't remember. I can
I
see
know it's
him.
Fantasia's in it though. I know
Right.
Fantasia.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, your girl. All right. So let's talk about the question of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay, you like to be on top of topics and what's going on, and especially in in culture and social media and all of that kind of stuff. But have you noticed there's an awful lot of sharing going on, especially in the light of books that have come out recently? And I know that people are very curious about the lives of celebrities and those that are what's going on behind the closed doors. But my question is, do we have to know? What is it about this that we feel so compelled and feel as though we are justified in clawing through all of this minutia and trying to find out what's going on in the life of J. Anthony Brown, what's going on in the life of Tyler Perry, what's going on in the life of Kerry Washington, and finding out that her daddy is not her sperm donor. What's going on in the life of Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith? Why do we need to know all of this? And not just to sell books, but now people
I
people
think
are
I think I
arguing about this. And now the latest is Britney Spears and naming Justin Timberlake as the father of her unborn child, and that he
had
really
an
pushed for
abortion,
her to
right?
have an abortion. And I'm no Justin Timberlake fan, so whatever, however he comes out looking, I don't care. But because what he did to Janet, I'm gonna hold on to that forever. Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, everybody, feels as though they have to open up the closets of their life and tell everything because the people deserve to know. Do we deserve to know?
I can't answer the question if we deserve to know, but the answer for me is that I have a connection to this person on television, or this person who has music, or this person who does plays. Now I'm able to read what their life is like, whether it be true or whether it not be true, but it gives me some sort of an insight to the person that I know them, because people connect to famous people like they know them.
Hmm.
It's a real connection that they have. I mean, you read the movie Play Misery for Me. It was
Hmm.
just a book, but when she found out that he killed the character, she went apes. And so when you find out that the person that you see on television or you listen to their music, and they have some of the same problems you have, or they're not as high up as you thought they were, it's what people want to hear.
I
They're
don't get it.
they
I just
just want
don't.
to hear it.
I
Yeah.
don't get it. I just don't get. I don't.
Sometimes I don't get it. I mean, I'm sick of hearing about Jada Pinkett and Will Smith.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Will probably walked away saying, I maybe slapped the wrong damn person. I don't know if that's what he said. I don't know if he said that.
Yeah, he probably didn't say that, Jay.
I slapped the wrong.
Cancel that. I'm sure he didn't say that.
I'm not sure what Will said, Jay, but I just think that there. I mean, and people are really angry at Jada.
They're
They're
really angry
really
at you.
angry at her.
And it's probably because they like Will so much. I like Will Smith. I like him. I like his movies. I mean, he's made some bad ones, but for the most part, he is really a good actor. And
Yeah.
he's not bad mouthing her. He has said nothing bad about her. He has said, I don't know who this woman is. She, even when she found out that she had sex on the red top table, he didn't say nothing. He said nothing about her. And what's making people angry is every day she says something about this person that
Yeah.
people like, and it's Will Smith, and they don't like her for it. They don't. But here's the thing. That's all she's got.
Mm.
That's, in my opinion, that's all she's got, is to dog out Will Smith. Will Smith has a trailer of movies. a
Yeah.
trailer, you know, to dog out people like Chris Rock and Tupac and Will Smith, people who are not going to defend themselves,
Well, she
and it
didn't
will look
dog.
bad if he
She didn't
goes
dog
against
out
them.
Pac. I mean, I think from what I've read, and yes, I've read some of this just because
You're in the
you have to
news,
kind of
yeah. You
familiarize
want to know.
yourself with it. But I mean, she really loved Pac. I mean, and I think to this day really loves him. And as far as Chris Rock, she's like, I don't even understand what happened because not too long after these things happened, Chris called and asked me out. It's like.
But I mean, it's like she also said the Chucky doll wanted her. I mean, I don't know if it's true. I don't know. It could.
Well, you know what? I don't hate Jada or dog her out, but I'm just gonna come from the position as a married woman, not speaking for all married women, but from a married woman. I just don't understand how you can publicly be like that, humiliating, emasculate, whatever adjective you want to use towards your husband. That part as I'm just coming from a woman, and I understand that it's therapeutic for her. You could tell the story. You could tell your story. I could tell my story about me and my husband, but I don't have to burn him up in the process.
No,
my story is my story, but I don't have to burn him up. And it's not, and I don't care if it's I don't care. So let me tell you something that happened. And I was telling a friend this last night. There are certain things.
The friend?
It doesn't matter. There are certain things that's just not nice. So, for example, Sybil, I haven't shared this with you, but I say something publicly that's really not cool, and I don't mean any harm by it. Mm-hmm. I say from time to time, J. Anthony Brown, that Sybil is my soulmate. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm a married woman, and I say that somebody else is my soulmate. Even if it's true, you can't say that out loud.
Right.
So I thought I was being cute by saying that. But my aunt called me. She just happened to catch a podcast. I didn't even know she looked at the podcast. And she just said, don't you ever do that. Don't do that to that man. Mm-hmm. Even if it's true. If somebody else is you just don't. It's just not nice.
Yes.
And that's really the bottom line. It's just not nice to set somebody up will make them just to humiliate them. And I don't know if he's humiliated
that's the problem I have with her. Will, in her eyes, Will did this and Will was that, and I don't understand Will. And it's never, I dogged Will out, and I feel bad for what I did.
What's your accountability?
She has no accountability for, entanglement. And Will did her a favor because they were not even together when he sat there at that table and let her confess to him. He didn't have to do that.
Right.
He did that to help her out. That increased her numbers, and that made him look bad. And here she comes now. He was this, he was that, and she doesn't take any responsibility for what she did.
Well, she's a victim because she was crying as she was walking down the aisle. And so
that's
forth.
What she said, yeah.
But Jay, one thing that I want to
now that part that right there, the walking down the aisle, I can relate to that.
Me too. I've been there too. Not with my current husband. I'm only kidding. But Jay, you said something that was so grossly
I'm only joking.
wrong. You said something that was so grossly wrong. You say that's all she got. No, it ain't. She got a whole lot of money.
She got a lot of money.
She got a lot of money. So that ain't all she got.
Here's the thing. Money does not keep you in the limelight. And trust me, people, if you gave a lot of people a choice between making a lot of money or being in the limelight,
and being a famous person,
take the limelight every time. Because if you're in the limelight, you can make some money. If you got some money, that's all you have. But we're talking about her. She was on what show? 3 days. 3 days.
Yeah.
There's nobody's ever been on that. Presidents don't go on the show 3 days.
Right.
Kings.
Right.
She's been on there 3 days.
Right.
She said, this is the dumbest thing she said to me. She said, we didn't go there as husband and wife.
Yes. What?
I can get that, but we left as husband and wife. But she did not look like she was supporting him when he slapped the dog mess out of Chris Rock.
Yeah.
She did not. She didn't try to stop him. She didn't look like she was agreeing with it. She looked like, well, and what she's saying now was not what she showed on her face.
Right.
So anyway.
Wow. It's a tragedy.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. I do hope that she finds some peace.
I hope Will finds peace.
No, I hope that Jada finds peace.
You don't want Jada to find no peace, Jay?
No.
That's not nice. That's not nice. No, Jay, that's not nice.
I don't.
No,
I feel for him. I mean, look, I've been married 3 times. Not one wife has wrote a book. They probably could, that he wasn't shit. You know, at the end of the day, he may not have been shit, but at the end of the day, he was a nice guy. He treated her. He put her in the world she would have never been in.
But Jay, we don't know that. We don't know if at nighttime she was.
Well, on the surface.
That's right. That's exactly right. So we don't know. Yeah. But guess what? We don't need to know. And that goes back to Sybil's original question. Why do we need to know this? How if finding out this information, how am I going to like Men in Black even more? Why is Men in Black going to be better to me if I know what happens in their personal life?
Well, the last Men in Black was not. You might want to pick another movie when you go.
Whatever movie. I just don't see how. Jay, I don't understand how me knowing that you had bacon and eggs and sausage for lunch or breakfast is going to make me
every day
appreciate the jokes you tell on stage.
It's what people want to know.
Well, people are wrong. People are wrong.
Know. Yeah. They want to know.
You are funny. You're funny because of what you share on stage, not because what you ate, who you slept with, or what you did in your personal life.
But the thing, that include the white personal women? Life is so interesting to people. People want to know that. I mean, there's books and there's TV shows and there's magazines about what you do daily. You know, they just want to know. It's.
So what does that say about our lives?
That's the obsession, Sybil, that I don't understand. Why?
What does that say about our lives? What are we lacking?
We're hungry for knowledge of famous people.
But what about what's inside of us? What are we lacking that we are so hungry for information about other people? About stars?
It's what, well, number one, it's what people are talking about. Once you hear it, you go, let me check that out and see. And it sells. You know, it sells.
Sex sells for sure. Yeah,
Is anything else in the book? Does she talk about, I know she talked about being a drug dealer, but did she talk about what it was like working on, what she worked on, A Different World? Did she talk about what it was raising these beautiful children? I mean, the book has to be more than 60 pages of Will. What else is there? What else is in there?
That's why they want you to buy the book, because if you've heard all these other things, you'll find out.
You know, maybe she can tell us. I have a plant back here that I cannot keep alive. Maybe she knows. Maybe I'm watering it. Does she have a secret recipe?
Maybe,
you know what I'm saying? Is there something else?
Maybe there is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there are lives that are structured, that are blooming around the fact that they have to know everything about everybody else.
They want to know. People want to know. They thirst for the knowledge of rich people. You know, they do.
And to be fair, I push that too, because working with Sybil, Sybil, what you have take a picture of your meal and put it on Instagram, that nonsense, because people want to know what Sybil eats, what kind of greens she eats. Is it turnips or is it collards? Take a picture. I don't
know the difference.
I'm just saying.
I
I'm
know
a
you're
part of-
using that as an example.
Yeah,
I get it. I get
I
it.
promote that nonsense too. But Jay, I'm not even on social media. I don't do
Oh,
any
you're
of that
not?
Well,
because
she
I don't
is, but
care.
it's
I don't
reluctant.
care what you're doing. I
What
don't
she does
care.
is for the good, for the positive, because she shares her jewels, and she does, in terms of yoga and breathing and all of that, that's good for us. So, thank you, Jay and Yolanda, for participating in our question, and I'm
Thank you,
really
Sybil.
curious about what
It's
people are.
very interesting. It's
Yeah,
not. And here's the thing: it's not going away.
Really?
It's not going to go away. No,
So people are gonna buy this book and Britney Spears book. So people are gonna so why we gotta if you tell us everything, why we gotta buy the book?
because after this book, there'll be somebody else in the news. So it'll be another conversation. It'll be another person. Yeah.
Okay.
Jay, I'm not going to ask you as we move to trending topics. I'm not going to ask you about the latest news because things are going to change between now and when we
Uh,
play this. But I do want to get your thoughts because this is a discussion we have all the time. It doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. Jay's like, calls, "Are you watching this? Are you hearing this?" And in this case, it was about the Speaker of the House vote. Just give some thoughts about what you think about those that are involved in it and where should they go from here.
well, Jim Jordan should go to hell.
Ooh.
It's directly to hell. He's the worst person that they Speaker of the House. But I do believe that he's going to get Speaker of the House. Now, the best person for Speaker of the House would be Hakeem Jeffrey. But the Republicans are never going to vote for Hakeem Jeffrey. Here's the thing about Hakeem Jeffrey. He's got more votes for Speaker of the House than anybody has ever gotten, and he don't have the job. He's got more votes than anybody.
He needs 5 votes. He's got all of the Democrats.
If 5 Republicans come on board, they will wear their asses out. They'll be what was the word they use when they run against them?
Yeah, they'll be primaried.
They'll be primaried out of a job, and they won't. You see what happens to any Republican who stands up for right. They lose their job. Any Republican who stands up for wrong or commits wrong, they don't have a problem with it.
Right. And Yolanda, it's really interesting when they give his credits to the people when they're nominating Jim Jordan. He's never had a bill. He's never sponsored a bill. He's never had a bill passed. That's why you go.
So why is he up for the nomination?
He seemingly is the only one who wants the job. Right now.
Nobody really wants the job.
Oh, okay.
All they knew is they didn't like McCarthy.
They did,
and
yeah.
McCarthy
And
was
8 people.
so two-faced that and the thing that's going on now is that Democrats got him out of his job. That is so far from the truth. That is so far from the truth. They didn't like McCarthy because McCarthy would say one thing to one group and another thing to another group.
Right.
And he couldn't answer.
Like a politician.
Right.
Yeah, but he was really worse. He was
he was worse than a politician. Damn.
He was
Whoa.
He was really bad. I mean, the day of the riots, I like to call it a riot. He lambasted Trump. He talked about Trump so bad, and then the next week
he was right down there in Mar-a-Lago.
Kisses the ass of Trump.
Well, maybe Mar-a-Lago have good cheesecake.
He didn't go for the cheesecake.
Okay.
But here's the other part about Jim Jordan. Not only did he rally around Trump after the riots, he was working in cahoots with people like Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani and all of the Trump insiders leading up to the insurrection, leading up to the day when they were supposed to be taking the electoral count. He was working in concert with those to have the electoral votes turned in states like Pennsylvania and I believe Arizona. He has yet
They said that Biden is the president.
Let's say that Biden, and yet he has started the impeachment inquiry into the man he says is not president. How are you going to impeach somebody who doesn't have the job?
And one of the things that's on the table with the Democrats is that we will help you out to get this job if you don't bring up impeachment
Right.
processes to Biden. He's going to do that. That's what he's all about, just being evil and what you doing Trump's bidding. That's all he's there for. That's all he's ever done. And I don't know how he got away with this wrestling this wrestling scandal that he was involved in, where these guys were raped and molested, and for him not to say he didn't know anything, and he's been subpoenaed and he won't answer that.
That's the law. And you are a lawmaker. Well, he doesn't make the laws. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
But that's your job. And he ignored all the subpoenas.
And now he wants to be Speaker of the House.
Yeah. And not only does he want to be Speaker of the House, but God forbid something should happen, he'll be the second in line.
Yeah, I really think.
So what happens then? So the fact that we don't have a Speaker of the House, and of course,
laws can't be passed.
Nothing's getting done.
Nothing. When I say nothing gets done, nothing.
So can this go on to March?
No, because it can't, because the government is once again, we're within a month of the government shutting down. And we and also the president
if we can't decide on somebody, what
you got to do. So what they may do is give the man who is a
little more power. They have decided to give him
who is the U.S. Speaker pro tem.
But
give him just in piecemeal fashion. Give him the power to bring bills before the House to vote on, such as the money that they want to send to Israel and to Ukraine, such as it could be a bill to keep the government running. That's going to be trickier. And I think even the little guy in North Carolina who's the Speaker pro tem with the nice little bow ties, he's going to be like, that's way above my pay grade.
Yeah, that's
right. I don't think we're going to.
But I think the funniest thing that happened is the thing that happened to Tommy Tuberville, for his ass to fall down.
Oh, that's not...
it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I'm no Tommy Tuberville fan, but I'm not like a comedian. I don't like to see people fall.
I do. Well, that's not funny to me. Yeah. That was pretty painful. That looked like that hurt.
Oh, yeah. It did hurt. Because he dribbled off the step.
Not dribble, Jay.
Oh God,
that is a great adjective for that visual.
Yeah,
oh, his head so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can say when you say what you want to, but when he got up, the word
and look around, Jay, and look around. Anybody see that?
Oh yeah, we saw it.
Oh my God.
Boy, did we ever.
How old is he? Yeah, you can't be falling like 70s. That at that age.
Yeah, he's 70.
He's in his 70s?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. I don't know how old he is.
That's not funny. Then that's really not funny. You can't laugh at him.
But he is evil. He's another one.
Just because he's evil, you can't laugh. That's not nice.
That's all. That gives you all the more reason to laugh, Yogi.
I agree, Yolanda, but I think that was something that it was an involuntary laugh. Totally involuntary, but.
And I'm thinking now when he flies, he's checking his luggage.
Okay. Yeah, he's 69. He's going to be 70 next year.
Oh my God, that is not funny.
Hilarious. It was funny the first 15 times I looked at it.
So, because you got another story, I can't participate in this. The universe is
You're not going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, do you remember Natalie Holloway?
No. What do I know her from?
Okay, so remember, this is like almost 20 years ago, not quite though. 2006. Natalie Holloway was a young girl from Alabama that was on a class trip. She was in high school. They went to Aruba.
Oh yeah,
and she disappeared. She disappeared.
They finally found somebody who
did. The guy that was last seen with her, they went off. And now he is back. He is not back. He is in America because he has been charged with extortion, telling her parents, if you pay me so much money, I'll tell you what happened to your daughter. They finally charged him, extradited him, and he's in America, and he told the story. And it is I know that there's something that people need to have in
Wow.
order to kind of exercise these demons that you have regarding your child's death. But this is so horrific. He tells the story that they were together. He tried to make a move on her, feel her up, as he said, and she rebuffed him. And so he came back at her again, and he, continued to pursue her. And finally, she kneed him in the crotch, and really hurt him. He got so angry, he pushed her down. He grabbed a cement block and he
Wow.
bashed her head in.
Did they never? And they
He
never
told
found her
this
body,
story.
huh? They didn't. Did
No,
they?
no. And here's what happened. He walked the body out to the ocean,
Whoa.
dropped it, and her body was taken out to sea.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that
This is the
story.
most horrific
He
thing
was
I think.
wasn't he a prominent guy?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
his family was very
So
wealthy.
wait. Why did he confess?
Well, he was being charged with extortion, and he's found God.
Extortion
And
is different
yeah,
than
well,
Well,
that.
since he was up for charges, he just said, "I'm going to confess to
right.
everything
And
I've done."
he told her mother that he had found God, and she said, "I don't care who you found, you're still a killer." And so he agreed to tell. I don't know to whom, but he told the court what actually happened the night
It
that.
goes back to the previous segment.
Mm.
We just talk too much. Why
Yeah,
he got to tell all of that?
yeah. He could have kept his mouth shut, huh?
He should, but I mean, even for the parents, I know you want to know, but do you really want to know that?
Yeah,
That you can't.
yeah. Well,
It's one.
some people consider it as closure. They if I
Yeah.
could just know where the body is, if I could just know what happened to her, I could
Well, he
have
could have
some
made
peace of mind.
something else up. He
Yeah,
could, because we
yeah.
don't
And
know.
he could have made this up, Yolanda. He
Well,
could have
that's
made
true.
this
He
up,
could have made the whole thing up.
and just as a
That's true.
horrible parting gift to this mother, and then and tell her that he bashed her daughter's head and
Hmm.
drowned her.
Oh.
It's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. But here we are, and people want to know.
People want to know. Yeah.
It's just I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I am. No, I really am. I think this is every parent's nightmare. And we've been talking about these stories, Jay, about losing children. And no parent is supposed to bury their child.
Before them, yeah.
That's the first thing. And the other thing is life is so short. Like,
Yes.
and we don't realize, how in a heartbeat. And I don't know if people are talking to their children. Like, you make a pact, or you have a friendship with a roommate that you just met this year. Do you all go out and say, okay, we're not leaving each other? I'll watch your drink, I'll watch your purse, and we came together, we're leaving
We're
together.
leaving together.
Do
Yeah.
they make those kind of agreements
Some
anymore?
people do, but some people, I mean, and there's been certain cases where the lady will go out with friends and they'll go, "Oh, I met such and such. He's going to another party. You guys go ahead," and you never see that person again.
Right. And that's with this young girl. They were out drinking, and he attached himself to her group. They separated themselves, and the next thing you know, they're making
You
out
never see
on
her
the beach,
again.
and
Yeah.
they never see her again.
On that note,
But Jay, do you have good friends? You have friends like, and I'm not saying that you guys would make pacts, oh, we're not leaving, but you have good friendships, and that's what I really want to leave people with is that there's nothing like the
you
power
have to
of.
make a pact in terms of friends that if I'm going to such and such, you're gonna call me before you leave. You're gonna call me when you get there. You're gonna call me when you leave that spot, so I can know where you are.
Right.
There are a lot of people who do that, but then there are a lot of people who don't. There are a lot of people who.
And Yolanda, you were one of those party girls. Did you all have that kind of pact?
No.
You cut off from your friends. You just cut off. You just.
No, I don't know the cut off, but
No, I don't mean cut off. I mean, you diverge from your friends.
listen,
Good.
if we out and you are somewhere and you want to do something different, go on. Live your life. Have fun. I'm just not one of those friends. That might be reckless. That might be whatever, but go on.
And
Live
I will
your
say
life.
at your advanced age, that's pretty reckless.
Well, you said
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well,
right,
sometimes
let's-
we can do some reckless things.
Yeah.
You're
Hi,
too
my
old
name
to
is
be, you're
Yolanda.
too, as you would say, you're too old to be reckless. So cut that out. Not to be like your aunt, but ixnay on that. Let's talk entertainment, and let's talk all J entertainment. J. Anthony Brown, you're a
All
busy
J.
guy.
I like that.
Oh
All
my
J,
God.
all the time.
I saw 2 really good movies. 2 really good.
No. Before we talk about what,
Entertainment.
I don't want your reviews.
Circle of entertainment.
I
Yes.
want you to talk about what you're doing with your music.
Oh, my music. My new album is called "Songs I Wrote While Drunk or High." Is going to be what? That's the name of it.
Well, first of all, you're
Oh, I
never
love
drunk.
that.
I get the high
that's-
part.
Oh, I love that. No, add the drunk in there too. I love that.
Songs I wrote while drunk and high. It's probably like a lot of the songs are pretty much a cappella. There's one song in there called "An N-Word Will Find a Way to F Up a Good Job." That's on there. There's a song.
Okay, I like that one.
The titles are great.
I'm downloading that one.
There's a song on there called "My Phone Hit Me in the Face," in my face. There's a song on there called "Leave Me the F Alone."
And that's an anthem. That's a J. Anthony Brown.
Yeah, "Leave Me the F Alone." And then there's "Please Have Your Panties On." That's on there.
Are you performing these when you and Myra?
No, I record them and I'm gonna put them on. They're all on an album. And the next time I come on, I'll show you the cover for it. There's the one song I really like is "Where's That Baby's Black Baby?" "Where's That Baby's Black Daddy?" That's a really.
Those are the people you see in Walmart, and you just know.
Where's that baby's black daddy?
The kid looks at you like you're his lost Amy. It's like the kid is like, and like, no, I'm not. He may look like me.
You can tell by the fact that this child's hair has not been done by this white mama.
But they will come up and ask you, where did you get your hair done? Yeah.
And I think my one is gonna really the song is gonna take me. I can't even think of it now. So you made me forget. If I think of it.
Okay, but tell people because you travel out to Los Angeles to do all of these songs
I record with a young man by the name of Ralph Hawkins Jr., who works with New Edition, who's worked with Bobby Brown. He works with the guy that wrote the Ghostbusters song. What's his name?
Ray Parker. Ray
Yeah, he's worked with a lot of people. He's very good producer. So I'll fly out there and work with him. Yeah. Oh, the song that I couldn't think of is "You're Gonna Go to Hell If You Keep on Doing the Nasty." That's on there too.
Well,
and do you explain what the nasty is?
I think if you're doing the nasty, you know what the nasty
Good answer, Jay. That's a great answer.
I think you know what. You know. Ask somebody like, I just did such and such. Is that nasty? I think you know.
You know. Jay, tell us about your Wednesday night sets with Myra.
Wednesday night is a place in Atlanta called Perfect Notes. I've been having Myra J there, but we're gonna switch it up. Sometimes I'll do it, sometimes she'll do it. It's called Perfect Notes. It's at 3000 Windy Mill Road in Atlanta, Georgia, every Wednesday night. And then on oh my God, I can't think of it, but it's a place in Cincinnati, Ohio. Myra J and myself will be at Ludlow's Garage.
All right then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Jay, where are you working?
I understand. I'm sorry, Yolanda, go ahead.
Where are you working?
I like it. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not like roofing where it's hard. It's I mean, you know me, so you know I'm nervous before I go on, but once you get up there,
once you're on stage, it's magic.
It's just so much fun. It is. You
so
know,
you're not gonna do a Tom Joyner.
Oh, I would
love Tom
to
quit, he quit.
Huh?
When Tom quit, he quit.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be you.
I don't think this is just me. I don't think Tom ever loved radio as much as I did. I don't. I think it was a big success for him from what he did, but I don't, because if he really, really loved it, he would find a way to come back to it.
Okay, so you don't quit what you love.
You don't. No. I love radio.
That's good.
Absolutely love it. It's the best medium ever. It is. There's nothing that you can do anything and listen to the radio. Anything. You can rob a bank and listen to the radio. You know, you can. Have you guys seen the Jamie Foxx movie?
I have not. The Willie Gary story.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Okay,
he's good.
I liked it. It starts out very slow, but Jamie really takes that role. And
we don't really agree on movies much.
Yeah. And the other movie I saw, which is a series, is called Hijack with Idris Elba. Idris Elba, which is really good.
What's it on?
It's on Apple TV.
Apple TV.
And the Jamie Foxx movie is on Netflix.
And there's a series out that I'm not going to be able to see that I'm really curious about. It's on Paramount with Daniel Aola.
Oleo.
Oleo. You know what I'm talking about?
What is it about?
I don't know.
I think it is you know who it is, Jay? I think Yolanda's talking about the Western, and
yes.
He plays Bass Reeves, and you know the Bass Reeves story.
The Bass Reeves story as well, because my good friend James House did the Bass Reeves story, and there's a big bass. Well, it's not big. There's a Bass Reeves convention every year. I think it's in Texas or something.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. He was a real guy, you know. And if you've seen the last Western that came out, where that was with Idris Elba, yeah. What was that movie that they had out?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There was a Bass Reeves character in there, but
there was.
The weird part about all those people never met up together, so they were just.
This is a spinoff from the Paramount series Yellowstone.
Do you have?
Wow.
Oh,
do you see Bass Reeves in Yellowstone?
Yeah, David Oyelowo is going to play the Bass Reeves character in this spinoff from Yellowstone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your Paramount?
Yeah, I'll send you the number. You know why? Because I borrowed it from somebody else. So yeah.
Shut up, Jay.
I will give that.
Oh, here's the other thing.
Best
Buy has just announced that the first of the year, they're no longer going to sell DVDs.
They sent out their last DVD last week.
Wow. I knew it was. You could tell it was going to happen. I mean,
they still have them for video games, but not for movies. Yeah. Okay. Netflix has sent their last ones out.
And Netflix is opening up theaters too.
Say again?
I think Netflix is going to open up some theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're going to be red box theaters.
Wow.
Yolanda, do you have the jewel?
I do have the jewel.
Okay.
So this week, Anthony Brown, we're talking about free your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so for today, it is free your mind from what could have been, what could be in the future, and let's just enjoy right now.
That makes sense.
Yeah. We just don't spend enough time. Like, it's been great being with you this hour. This has been great. And I haven't thought about all the other stuff that I have to do. And so if we could spend more time just being in the moment, that's my goal.
All right.
All right, everyone. Enjoy your moment. Jay, thank you. I always love when you come on and do this.
Sigma.
Bye.
Later, babe. Be good, y'all.
Thanks, Jack.